Welcome back to Millennials, and we are your hosts, Law and the beautiful, gorgeous, dancing Raven. Now,
Hey.
this is episode 9. And on episode 9, we want to take it back as we always do, but this time we're going to take it back to the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, specifically to talk about our crushes from back then. All of the celebrities that we liked, and I'm not ashamed of anybody that I liked back then. Raven's already bashed some of the people that I like, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Raven, I'm going to ask you this, and I'm going to start with what you thought when you were younger in terms of beauty standards. What guys did you give that? And I want to start with movie people. Don't go music. Okay. Give me movie actors that you were like, oh, he was it. He was the thing. And then transition over to TV.
Okay, so movies, of course. Okay, we had the like black trifecta back in the day.
Who's the black trifecta?
I'm about to tell you. Okay, we had the Morris Chestnut, the Tay Diggs, and the Lorenz Tate, honey. Okay, fun in all the movies. Okay, the black movies from back in the day, nothing is touching them ever. Okay.
I'm not trying to interject. I'm going to ask you a question. Mm-hmm. You just threw out those guys as movie heartthrobs.
Yes.
And you're not putting Denzel in this category.
I've never been like attracted to Denzel like that. That's just me. There's other people that might have. I haven't been like, I appreciate him as an actor. He's my favorite actor, but I'm not like, ooh, Denzel, hello. Like, I've seen like his first movie and I was like, oh, hey Denzel, how you doing? But you know, now I can look back at his old movies and be like, Denzel could have got it. Mm-hmm. But back then,
Devil in a Blue Dress, Denzel does no better blues.
Back then, no, because to me, I've always been very like kind of logical with my crushes. Like Denzel just seemed a little too out of reach, like too old. So it was just kind of like, I'm good.
Okay. Take me back to your younger mindset then. So you have your trifecta dudes. You're like, you're I still don't know how he doesn't fit in there because I thought he was the guy back then. I thought Denzel was.
No, I'm saying, but Denzel was not in these, like, in the black movies they were in. Like, they were in The Wood. They were in, like, he wasn't in those movies is what I'm talking about.
Got you. Okay. You know what?
That's what I mean about that. Like, Denzel has always been that Jew. But like I said, back then, I wasn't like attracted to him like that. Like I wasn't looking at him like that. To me, he always just seemed like my daddy's age. So it wasn't like, oh, hey, like that was not happening.
Technically, they're way older than all of us. Like it doesn't matter. Like
Tay Diggs is dating April. She's like our age. I'm like, that could have been tangible.
You have your trifecta. However, on the other end, what's your secondary list in terms of guys back then? Is it, or it's just them? It's those three, there's nobody else?
Well, in movies, those were like the top ones in the movies. Those were like top.
What about old boy from Jason Lyric? You know what I'm talking about? You don't know who I'm talking about, do you?
I do know who you're talking about, but I wasn't like, I guess because he wasn't in a ton of movies, I wasn't really like feeling him like that. I did like Shamar Moore though. I
was getting there. I'm like blown away that you're not talking about any of the top. Like I get it. Morris Chestnut is at like an elevated level.
I'm gonna say you is not about to.
But Morris Chestnut, none of them had what Shamar Moore had back then. They didn't. Shamar Moore was like,
Morris Chestnut has been that dude though. Like he was that dude. He was. People was on Morris, honey.
Okay.
People was on Morris.
I'm not here to argue that.
Those men in the movies back in the day was, hello. That scene from The Wood when they was in the backyard getting hosed down. Hello.
I more so love the idea of you being like
women in movies.
Okay. The women in movies, and this is really easy for me. Like, I don't have to do very much work to think about this. Halle Berry, like my go-to. Okay. Like I think this is a very obvious one on Halle Berry. But my number 2, and I think she's so slept on and forgotten, is Robin Gibbons. I feel like she's the most girl back then. Yeah, but she to me is the most slept on woman of that era. Like people don't even like talk about her anymore. And it's weird. I'm like, yo, Robin Gibbons was a thing. I'm kind of embarrassed by this, but I'm not. I used to love Vivica Fox. I used to
Vivica was that girl.
no, but I used to think Vivica was like
Vivica was that girl. I'm surprised you didn't say like Lisa Ray, because Lisa Ray was it back then, honey.
no. Vivica was special. Like I don't know why I thought Vivica was like a 20. Like I didn't think she was a 10. I thought
you was about to miss that 10 p.m. curfew for Vivica, huh?
and then there's one more person that I would kind of throw in there, and I don't know why I liked her when I was younger. So don't judge me. I loved Lynn Whitfield, so don't judge me.
Lynn was gorgeous.
No, but she's older. It was weird. That's a weird thing. That's weird. It's weird. I own that one. It's weird.
She was gorgeous though. A thin line. Lynn was out here serving the looks, honey, and the legs. She was ready.
Yeah, but it was weird. And I also loved Gabrielle Union back then. Like
Gabrielle was that girl.
I thought she was also like otherworldly.
Gabrielle was that girl. Gorgeous.
My God, I thought.
Okay.
Gabrielle. Yeah, that's my quick off the dome list.
Okay, I'm here for the list.
Give me your TV show people.
TV show people. Okay, so I had a lot because I love me some TV, honey. So I loved Pacey from Dawson's Creek. You know what I'm saying? I always knew he was gonna get with a Black woman, and now he is with one. So shout out to you, Joshua Jackson. Get into it. Stefan Urkel. Hello, how you doing? Let's make it happen. Don't make a face. Don't make a face. Jet Jackson. Jet Jackson, R.I.P. That man was fine. Okay?
I remember.
Woo, that man was fine. When I tell you I thought I was gonna marry me some Jet Jackson, honey. Huge. You cannot tell me nothing about no Jet Jackson.
Do you think he was kind of Michael B before Michael B was Michael B?
Of course. Well, he was an action star because like Jet Jackson was like the action thing, but he was younger. He was also a lot younger than like a Michael B when he started out because he started on the Disney Channel. But when I tell you that broke my heart when he passed away, because I was like, this is about to be my husband. Like, I'm gonna find him. And then I was a FAMU and found out his mama he taught there. I said, wait a minute.
I respect
really been married to Jet Jackson.
Oh God. Who else falls on your list?
I'm trying to remember the shows that I watched. I did really like, I did have crushes on them, but it wasn't like a huge crush. But back in the day, like Joey and his brothers, they had a show, The Middle Brother.
Oh, I know John.
Used to have a crush on him. Theo was fine back in the day. So was Eddie. Seen Eddie at an awards show. I was like, how you doing, sir? But yeah, the brothers for all the shows.
No Will Smith.
Mm-mm.
No, just completely out of there.
I thought he was just like, I liked the show. I don't know why I didn't have a crush on Will. It just never was like, oh my God, Will. I was kind of like, I thought the show was amazing. I just never liked him like that.
Okay, got it. No, and I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know if you remember old boy from like Smart Guy, but he was on everything.
Oh yes.
Not the main character, but the brother.
No, I know who you're talking about. His brother. Mm-hmm. His brother was fine.
I felt like girls liked him, but I could be.
Girls did, and I was one of them. He was fine. Yes.
So, anybody else? You're good? Because I'm gonna go.
I think I'm good. I'm probably missing some because I watch a lot of TV and I liked a lot of people, but those was the main ones that I was like, if I catch you on the street, how you doing?
Here's mine. My number one back in the day. Oh my God. Nobody could tell me anything. And I don't care what y'all say about it to this effing day. She played Lisa Turtle on Saved by the Bell.
Oh, Lisa was.
Her name was Lark Vorhees.
Lark was that girl back in the day, though. She was. Today, not so much. But back then, she was that girl. Every Black girl wanted to be Lisa. Okay.
I know that's not that's not the pick people expect, but she was different,
Lisa was gorgeous. That's the pick everybody should expect. Lisa was gorgeous. all the black girls wanted to be Lisa. Okay.
Okay, here is my absolute sleeper, and I think most people don't realize this, but people, when they thought of the show Family Matters, always thought about Laura, right?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. She was gorgeous too.
Wait, you already know where I'm going. Wait, where am I going before I get there? If you're gonna shock me if you know where I'm going before I even go.
You going to Steve Urkel's girlfriend?
How?
Because she was gorgeous. Like, what are you talking about? How? She was gorgeous.
Wait a second. We didn't rehearse this or nothing. So you also felt like
she was beautiful. Like, people was like, how did he get her? Like, she was nerdy, but she was gorgeous.
She was Myra.
Yes, gorgeous.
The woman who played Myra, now she died early in life, and she also used to date. I think she dated
Theo.
Eddie or Theo, one of them.
I think it was Theo. Maybe it was Eddie. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up while you talk.
Myra was bad. My God, she was ridiculous. I think she's one of the most slept on women in all of TV of all time. Another sleeper pick, Topanga.
Topanga was beautiful. Yes.
Sleeper. People sleep on her to this day. I don't care what nobody say. Topanga was banging back in the day. And then my final one, and I think everybody can kind of agree on this, Lisa Bonet. I don't know that there's anybody that's going to disagree with me on that one. Lisa Bonet was. Let's transition and pivot over to music artists. What guys back then, you better not do this, because I feel like I know where you're going to go with this, and I'm going to pull my hair out if you do. Don't give me a Tevin Campbell. Get out of here. No, Tevin Campbell better not be brought up, because that was not, when you were younger, you knew, just like I did, there was a group of people who was older that you was like.
But Tevin Campbell, he came to Ashley's birthday.
You weren't less than after Tevin Campbell. Anyway, continue.
I was when he was on the Fresh Prince, honey. I was like, hello, Tevin. Okay. But my number one music crush back in the day was Justin Timberlake. Okay. You could not tell me nothing about Justin Timberlake at all whatsoever. Could not. No. My entire room when I was like middle school, high school was like every wall was a different person of NSYNC. Justin was on my ceiling. Like, you could not tell me. That was the first concert that I went to that I paid for myself. I got me and my friend on the floor. You cannot tell me that the arena was not going to be silent. I was going to yell, I love you, Justin. He was going to hear me. We were going to get married. Like, this was going to happen with me and Justin Timberlake.
Of all the choices, Justin Timberlake is your music guy choice.
Number one, yes.
This is blasphemy. Like, what?
Did you not know the power that NSYNC had back in the day?
We've already done this conversation, so I'm not going to do this. We've already had it. We've had it. You know what? I'm going to let it go. Anybody else on your list?
I used to think Genuine was really fine.
That's where I thought you were going. I don't know how you got to Justin over. It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. You're the only one I know that would say that. Like, this is insane. What was Justin?
In last episode, you were telling me that I was a white stay-at-home housewife. So
what was Justin doing? Well, yeah, actually, this fits the bill. You know what? Respectfully. Yeah. Yeah. Checks out. Yep. I don't know why. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So musically, I also had a really huge crush on Ludacris. Okay. Huge crush on Ludacris. I used to have a huge crush on Ja Rule. Okay. I don't know why, but I did. And I used to have, oh my gosh, I used to have the hugest crush on Chingy. I don't even know why. I used to love me some Chingy. Love me some Chingy, honey. But Ludacris and them braids, I don't look, had every album.
Okay. Okay. What about Tyrese?
Tyrese never did it for me.
Okay.
He didn't. He just
Usher.
Usher. Ooh, used to love me some Usher, baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm trying to throw things out there because I'm concerned.
yeah, funny. Used to love me, Usher. Ooh, Usher. Yes, honey. My way. Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking about the My Way video, which is why I said it. I'm like, Tyrese was in the My Way video.
Okay, about Tyrese.
Okay,
But
very
Usher,
good. I'm gonna let it go. But what about Maxwell? No?
I liked Maxwell, like, and I really liked his music. I think, like, when I got a little bit older, I started to like be more attracted to him. Again, he was
D'Angelo.
a little. Oh,
What is
D'Angelo could have got it, honey. He could have got all of my 100-pound 13-year-old self, honey. Okay, like D'Angelo was fine.
so D'Angelo. So he's the top five back then.
He's
Back then,
yeah,
like
yeah,
13-year-old you. If we really sat down with 13-year-old you would be like, yo, D'Angelo is it.
yeah. But I also listened to a lot of white music back then, so there's probably some more white artists in there somewhere. But yeah, because I used to like this group called like LFO.
Oh God.
I don't
Oh my
remember like
God.
the names of the people.
I know the group.
Yes,
Okay.
with my Abercrombie and Fitch on.
New Kids on the okay. Nobody else, I hope. Is there anybody singer wise that you feel like you missed?
I don't know, probably somewhere in there.
Robin Thicke? I mean, at this point, I just feel like he probably belongs on the list.
No, okay. So this is the thing that I have. Like, I'm very respectful of my crushes and their relationships. So once someone is married, they get taken off the list. He was introduced as married, so he can't be on the list.
Makes sense. Makes
So,
sense. Okay. Do you want my list?
of course, why would I not?
All right. I'm not doing this in terms of numbers or ratings or anything like that. I'm just going to throw out the names because I genuinely feel very strongly about my 13-year-old self and how I felt then about said singers
Yeah,
and or artists. Adina Howard.
you was 13 thinking about t-shirt and panties. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you.
Adina Howard, when I was younger, was a smoke show. I don't even know what to tell you. I like Adina Howard was something special. She was thick in all the right places. She was talking that talk. I was like, you want to be in the early what?
He's like, I will look.
Listen, you ain't gotta say it twice. Back then, too, I didn't care for all of Destiny's Child, but Beyonce had a special place back then. Beyonce was Beyonce to me then. You know what I mean? Like, you know how she branched out and became no, she
I was
was
part of the
already
Beehive back then, honey. Okay, you wasn't buying House of Darion, no.
no, I was not. Because I respected myself. Another person that I feel like y'all may or may not remember. And this is deep to my soul. I thought Lauryn Hill was bad when I was younger. I thought
Okay.
Lauryn Hill was beautiful. Like I really gave Lauryn Hill her respect. She had a picture on the wall. Like I was like, Lauryn Hill is special.
Come on. Did you get it out one of those like Teen Bop
Of course, of
magazines?
course. I got it like the same way everybody else did. I was just trying
Yeah.
not to like let the staple ruin the middle of the photo because I don't know what y'all was trying to prove. But yeah, Lauryn Hill had her place. And then I think the only other person that again, not my best hour because I recognize like, oh, wait, before I go to that person, Brandy, Brandy. My fault.
He is in love with Brandy, y'all. Okay, don't ever say nothing bad about Brandy around him. Okay,
There's haters here. It's cool.
it's not a hater. It's just
Yeah, you think Monica has a better catalog, I guess, which is really weird. Anyway, Brandy was in that list. Monica sucks, by the way, in comparison to Brandy specifically. That's really what
this is blasphemy. I never said that Brandy sucked, and you just gonna go all the way out there like that. I was like,
okay. Okay. Finally, as far as singers were concerned, when we were younger, there's all these groups that kept popping up, right? Like there was 702, there was Black. I don't know if y'all even remember those.
Remember Black? Boom like an 808. Okay.
But back in the day, TLC was a thing. Like TLC was for real. TLC was bigger than Destiny's Child, but nobody want to tell y'all that.
TLC, honey.
Nobody want to tell y'all that. TLC
Girl.
was bigger than Destiny's Child. I thought Chili. I thought
everybody loved Chili. What you talking about? I don't know how y'all gonna feel about this last one. Everybody loved Chili.
No, let me tell you, because again, when people go back historically, they don't think about people don't even talk about TLC no more. You know what I mean? People don't even think about
that. But back then, everybody was on Chili. Chili was the it girl out of TLC. Then she got with Usher. It was a whole thing. Yes. Chili was that girl.
All I'm saying is I thought Chili was like special. Chili was what I thought the leading lady's supposed to be, right? That was back.
You didn't like well, she was on TV. Ananda Lewis, they looked very similar.
I thought Ananda Lewis was cool. I think I gained a lot of respect for Ananda Lewis when she talked about Jay-Z on the Howard Stern show. She was on the Howard Stern show and just she gave insight into who Jay-Z was before Jay-Z was even bigger than what he is now. Yeah. She basically said he was an ultra gentleman the whole time, never did anything, blah, blah, blah. Took her out to like a concert venue and everything was great. And she was like, honestly, I would have went on like a real date with him. And I went, and this is a career driven, like, she was like, yo, he was dope. And it wasn't some like, he doesn't look like that, or he money. It was very much like he treated me like a person. Yeah. And it felt great. And I was like, I see you. I appreciated her. So yeah, I liked Ananda. That's it.
Your picks were amazing. They all were beautiful women back then. A lot of them are still good today. Not all of them, but we'll go there. But a lot of them are still looking amazing today. So yours aged very well. Some of mine also did not age very well. So, there's that.
Let's put a bow on this. Okay, based on everything that we've talked about, is there anybody in today's world that you feel like lives up to the standards of back then? Anybody? Do you feel like has it that could have crossed over to any of the eras that we were a part of? And I'll leave it on that.
Ooh, oh gosh, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to go through my mental Rolodex real quick. I'm like,
I only have one person that I know for sure.
So you go first, and then I'm gonna go because I'm like, I don't know.
I think back in the day, no matter what, Zendaya would have crushed. I wouldn't have been interested in her in that way, but I know she would have made it in any era. She has the look. There's no arguing it. She has it. Whatever it is, she has it.
Yeah.
She'd been a star. Easy work.
I'm like, who would it be like?
You what about Michael B?
I would say him, but people don't really like his acting. So there's people who don't like Zendaya's acting too, so maybe he would have made it back in the day. I don't know, but yeah, I can't think of it. Morris Chestnut's still on TV, so clearly he would have made it back then and today. Yeah.
Well, we tried.
We tried. We really did try.
Nobody.
Can you think of a guy? I'm like
that would have gave from now back then.
Yeah. Who?
Really? No, nobody. Nobody's even. Is it because you don't know the new actors' names, or is it just because you literally can't see them? Like you can't see any of them and go, this person's talented.
I'm just trying to think of like heartthrobs. Like I know some people who would have like killed it back in the day because of their acting talent. Like Sterling K. Brown, any decade, killed it. You know what I'm saying? He's phenomenal. But I'm thinking of like heartthrob, like on the level of Morris Chestnut. And maybe because
as a white dude, Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson would make it back in the day. He would crush. He has the look. He can act his ass off. He would have crushed. He would have crushed in the 80s, 90s, anything.
He would have crushed. He had that like emo look. And
Oh yeah, he
you
would have.
know, there was a huge part in the 90s where like the waif look was in. So he would have been in that era. But at the same time, back then, the heartthrobs of the era, well, no, because like we had the Johnny Depps and stuff. He could have been like in that little circle.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt was also that dude back in the day. He now looks homeless, but back then, he was that dude.
Why'd you have to lean in and call that man homeless?
Because he does look homeless now.
Yeah, I think that he's an easy one. But as far as like black actors, Keith Powers, I think he has it.
I do like Keith. I like Keith. I haven't seen everything that he's been in, but I do like Keith. I think he was in this little. Was that Keith? No, Keith. That's Keith. No, this is the other dude. I seen him in another movie. Child, it's like three of them. I get them mixed up.
This has been fun. Honestly, truthfully, this has been fun. Going back down memory lane. And as we said at the beginning of the show, this is just us bringing back nostalgia. I'm not saying Raven's wrong for any of her picks, but at the point that she came for Brandy at one point, I'm going to say what I'm going to say on that. And then also at the point that she genuinely thought Justin Timberlake was more attractive than the likes of somebody like a Genuine.
First of all,
got to question her entire existence. But anyway.
First of all, you just said you're not going to come for my picks, and then you just came for my picks. That don't even make no sense, okay? Second of all, okay, I grew up as, you know, a very token Black girl, and NSYNC was that group, okay? They literally consumed all of my being. So Justin was that man. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Well, just like that, that is the end of our episode. Thank y'all for joining. We'll see y'all on episode 10.
Bye.